Thank y'all all so much for joining me today. My name is Candice Dyer, and I'm with the Human Solution International and Canna Corner here on the show. So also big shout out to our sponsors, KM420 Radio, WJAE 420 Radio, and now our newest one, the Relevant app, y'all. So I'm really excited to be a part of the Relevant app and help building it up. If y'all haven't got a chance to go over to the Canna Corner over there and the KM420 over there and the WJAE 420 radio over there, and also now Ask Mary. So y'all go join those awesome, amazing groups over there on Relevant, and I will be talking to you a little bit more about that in just a minute. Right now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, because I've got him in the waiting room, bring in Alfonso. Alfonso is the owner and creator of Tube, the ultimate butane extractor. Hello, Alfonso. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. I'm really excited today to be able to talk to you. I met y'all over at the Lucky Leaf Expo.
Oh yeah.
And seen the booth set up over there, and then your daughter contacted me and was like, "Hey, I'd really like to get him on the show." So I'm excited to finally have you.
Oh, I'm excited too. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh yes, yes. I know I've been looking at the videos on y'all's website. To kind of see a little bit more about what it is that y'all do. I know, would you go ahead and tell our audience about what the ultimate butane extractor is?
Okay. Well, let me regress a little bit and talk a little bit about the different kinds of extractions, and then emphasize on butane. So
heck yeah.
I'm sorry, butane and alcohol were actually the first kinds of methods that were the first ways to do extractions. And let me just say that everything that I talk about extractions applies to both marijuana and to hemp, okay?
Gotcha.
So, or just for cannabinoids in general. So alcohol and butane were the first ones that were used, and then later on a CO2 extraction came about too. And neither of them are new technologies really. It's just how they were introduced into the cannabis world that happened at a later date, right? But actually alcohol extraction has been it forever. Butane, as well as, I don't know if you know, but I would say 80% of the oils that we consume from, all the oils, cooking oils, 80% are extracted with hexane, which is a very close relative to butane. So we all consume oils that have been extracted with a solvent similar to butane. And then CO2 extraction, back when the coffee industry was looking for a way to remove the caffeine to make a caffeine-free coffee, that's how CO2 came into be. So that's been also a while in the world, right? So it's been later on that where they were applied to cannabis. So the three of them are really a solvent. So what happens is that when they are at high pressure, well, in the case of butane or CO2, they're gases. But if they are under pressure and under low temperature, they are liquids. And as a liquid, they behave as a solvent, and they're able to go after certain things to solve them. And then when you extract the liquid and let it evaporate, then the goodies are what are left over or left behind. Okay, and that's really basically what the extraction is about. Okay, alcohol is a similar thing. It's just that alcohol, in order to evaporate it, you either apply vacuum or you apply heat to boil it off. Okay, So now that I'm talking about boiling off in heat, this is where there has been a distinction between alcohol and butane on one side and CO2 on the other side.
Okay.
CO2 is not flammable at all. Okay, CO2, there's no way that CO2 can burn. It's already the product of combustion, or it came from the combination of oxygen and carbon. But butane and alcohol, they can ignite. Okay, and that's what has brought a lot of stigma in regards to extraction using solvents. So I personally say, and there is controversy, a lot of controversy in respect to which method is better than the other. Okay, most of the people in the field feel that butane is actually the best method there is. Okay, but because of the stigma of the alcohol and the butane being a bit more dangerous because you have to handle them with more care than CO2 is just impossible to have them ignite, or CO2, then CO2 has gained a place in the extractions, and it's coming more often. So that's really, you know, in a nutshell, what all this is about extractions. Okay.
No, thank you for explaining that to me, because I didn't know the difference between them, and I know what you're talking about, the controversy. Everybody wants everything more natural now, you know what I mean? And that's kind of where that comes in. But yeah, I had no idea. So thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of us have learned a lot from listening to that.
Well, so now let's talk a bit about butane.
Got you.
So butane is probably, of all of those, what, let's say, resembles a little bit more what we're going after. So it has more affinity with the cannabinoids, which are the THC, the CBD, and all the other different molecules are from the same family. There's like 100 of them or so. Okay. So butane is able to dissolve them and not go after things that we don't want in the extraction. Okay. There's two things that primarily we don't want from the extraction. One of them is the chlorophyll, which gives a green color to plants. Okay. And chlorophyll is water soluble. Okay. All the other cannabinoids, they're not water soluble. Okay. And then what it could be considered as fats or as waxes. That's the other thing that mostly we try to leave behind. Okay. They don't really affect much the quality of the concentrate. They're just something that when you remove it, because it's just using up empty space. And also when you do the inhalation, you're inhaling a little bit of that vapor of either of them, of a wax or a fat. Okay. So ethanol is soluble in water, right? So ethanol and water can dissolve in any proportion. Therefore, ethanol can dissolve chlorophyll. So that's one of the problems of the ethanol being used as an extraction, that now you have to do an extra step to remove the chlorophyll. Gotcha. And other compounds that are also water soluble can be extracted by the ethanol. Okay, so that is the disadvantage of it. The advantage is that it's really simple. Everybody knows alcohol. It's a liquid at ambient temperature. The problem then later on is extracting it, because you need to use either vacuum or, like I said, heat or something to boil it off and evaporate it. Okay. Yes. CO2 in certain circumstances, it's a too powerful solvent. So it'll go also after a lot of things that we really don't want. Got you. And CO2 may also go after those substances that are also water soluble. Okay, CO2 dissolves also in water. You know, the soda pop has CO2 in it. Okay, so CO2 dissolves in water. Okay, so thereafter, it will also go after things that are soluble in water. And all the cannabinoids, neither of them is soluble in water. So what we're going after are substances that are only soluble in organic solvents. So that's what makes butane so special, because butane is completely immiscible in water while it's in liquid form. It will not go after these other substances that are soluble in water. Okay, so it's a very trim, very directed extraction when you're using butane. And not only that, but also everything that imparts aroma and flavor on the either on hemp or on marijuana, they're all also non-water soluble, so they're also very well extracted with butane.
Got you. The taste, the flavor that we love so much.
Yes.
The butane allows that to stay in what we are smoking.
Right. So going more into butane extraction, basically there is, if you go online and look for BHO, which stands for butane hash oil, okay, you will find a number of videos on people doing extractions. Some of them are industrial equipment, some others are more improvised. When you look at the improvised ones, in some of them, you get to see why the accidents have happened. So people are doing the extraction in an enclosed room. They're
no ventilation,
all the gas in that room.
Yep.
They have lights, switches, a radio on, you know, maybe a joint somewhere there on the side. So it's just asking for an explosion.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Definitely.
Whereas, and the other thing is that they use a big volume. Most of these extractors, you pack somewhere between half a pound to, you know, a couple of pounds of weed, and you're going to use several cans of butane in the extraction, and all that gas is released to the environment where you are. So the big disadvantages that I see on those is, well, two things. One is that you need a relatively large amount of weed if you're going to process weed, and not all of us have that access to 2-3 pounds of weed.
No, I don't.
And then the other is the enormous amount of gas that is used for that and that's just released in the atmosphere. Okay, if I may show you, like this is, for instance, one can of butane. And in one of those glass cylinders that they use, they could use 3-4 cans of butane and inject the entire thing into it, because they're just freely, they call it the blast method, which is basically just flushing the gas through the plant mat. Okay.
Got you.
So from there, the steps are the same. Basically, you let it stand for enough time for the gas to evaporate, and then maybe apply a little bit of heat to completely remove it. And then, because they're making a little bigger amounts of concentrate, it's convenient to apply vacuum, because that's the only way that you can ensure that you get all the butane out from a relatively large amount of concentrate. So looking at all that, that's how I came up with this contraption. Okay, it took me a couple of years of testing and experimentation to come up with this. And to be honest, what pushed me into doing this or looking into this was, I don't know if you remember, about 2 years ago in 2019, when there was people that were falling ill because they were vaping. And nobody knew what the vapes, or what was the compound that was being used in vapes.
Right. Well, as a matter of fact, I still to this day cannot use a pen, because a lot of the pens they'll give me a headache every time. Like I can dab the wax, but I just can't use the pens because of whatever they got in it.
Exactly, because there's all kinds of chemicals that can go into that, and we just don't know, especially if they're not made by a renowned lab. Right. So my two daughters, they dab a lot. I mean, they vape a lot. Okay. And that's what got me into this. I said, well, I mean, you guys need to stop vaping. Of course, I said, no. So then I said, well, is there a way that you guys could make your own concentrates, or I could make the concentrates for you? And that's what got me into this.
Right.
See?
Right.
So 2
That's
years
awesome.
after I tried CO2 extraction, so alcohol extraction. So I did all kinds of trials with different things. And finally, I got convinced that the best way to extract is with butane. And I found a way to go around those problems that butane extraction has at a lower scale, which is what people do.
Got you.
Okay. So basically this here, it's a little vessel that it's made of a resistant plastic material.
Okay.
And it's packed with, I don't know if you can see it there.
Yes.
So you pack it with weed or with hemp, okay? And then these are the two caps for it. One here has the valve through which you inject the butane. And
Got you.
here you can see how there is packed with plant matter.
Yes.
Okay. And then this one, I'm not going to take it apart so it doesn't fall off. But this one here has a valve through which we discharge. Okay. And as a matter of a filter, I just pack in there a little piece of cotton.
Cool.
So essentially, this is it. This is Teflon tape that allows me to have a better seal and also to be able to tighten it by hand. Otherwise, we would have to use wrenches, and you don't want to really use wrenches with something made out of plastic. Okay,
Right.
and that's basically what this is. So then, butane goes into this, and is injected through there. And the reason of this being transparent is you can see how the liquid is going in there, and if it's building up, and if it's soaking the entire material that it's in there.
Right.
Sorry.
You're good.
If for any reason it looks like it's not going, you can always turn it upside down and just release a little bit of the gas, so that gas allows for more liquid to come in.
Right.
And then you just continue and fill it out all with butane. Butane is such a good solvent for this that you don't even really need to wait. As soon as you have it filled with butane, you're ready to release it. So basically, to release it, I don't have a little cup here, but let's say that this was one of the cups. So basically, you're just going to release it into that. Slowly open this valve and release it. Let it drop into it until it's completely drained, and then you just leave this setting somewhere where there's good ventilation, 24 hours, and pretty much all the butane is gone.
Right.
And what's left, it's all the goodies. So that's what we
awesome.
have left.
And for all my listeners, and for those people that are on the radio and can't see the demonstration I just got, man, it's amazing. You can go find it on your website, right? The video that it shows you how to use it. Can you tell everybody the website?
Sure. There's three ways to get to the website. The simplest one is mycbdextractor.com. That is one of them, mycbdextractor.com. The other one is mybutaneextractor.com, just like you hear it, no periods or anything in between. And the last one, which is a longer, is theultimatebutaneextractor.com. So any of those through will take you to the same website. So on the website, we have some information about how to use it, but for customers, once they buy it, they have access to a number of videos that show everything on how to use it, recommendations, and of course, we have also a phone line and text message. So if any person, any day of the week, any hour of the day, have a question, feel free to ask, and we will answer right away to you.
That's awesome, man. I know that I love dabs. That's a great way. I didn't even know anything like that existed until I talked to y'all. I think it's so neat. I'm not aware that there's a product like that we can take and use at home. And that is a big concern with a lot of us is, what are we getting from other people? You know what I mean? And
yes.
So That's just incredible. What would something like this cost us to get?
Okay, the unit basically comes in two sizes, and one is $100 and the other one is $120. The
Wow,
$100 one can pack half an ounce,
half
and
an
the other
ounce.
one can pack a full ounce. Yeah,
Wow, wow, wow. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's not bad
But
at
you
all.
can pack any amount in it. So if I made it really keeping in mind that when you buy, you mostly are going to buy an eighth of an ounce. Uh, so an eighth of an ounce, even if you just fill, halfway through it or less, when you pull butane, you just fill it up to the point where you see that it's all submerged and soaked in butane, and that's it. You don't have to fill the whole
Right.
thing.
And
Yeah.
how much extraction can you expect to get out of an ounce per se?
Yeah, very good question. Very interesting question. And I found a wide range of that. See, when I buy weed, I can find here in California weed that has up to 30%, a little just a slightly over 30% THC, which is pretty high, pretty
Right,
strong.
right,
Okay. There's weed that go as low as 7 or 8%, or if you're using trim or other things, that's what they're gonna be. Okay.
right.
So for something that has, let's say, about 10% of THC, you're gonna get about 0.7 of a gram. So for an eighth of an ounce. So on
Got you.
3.5 grams, you're gonna get about 0.7, which is somewhere between 15 and 20% of the weight. Okay.
Right,
Keep in mind that you're just getting the goodies. So really, what's left, it has no value. And
right,
when weed is smoked, you're not only burning the plant matter that has really no effect, you are also burning some of the THC and so forth, because it's
right,
an unavoidable. Some of that, it's estimated that about 20% of it gets burned, and it's
right,
not in. So your concentrate is not only concentrated, it's all of it, all of the good stuff that you're keeping, and you are sure that there's no chemicals at all in it. It's just
right.
what you put in.
Yes, because you're making it yourself. I know that here in Texas, unfortunately, our stuff isn't legal yet. So we pay about $30 a gram for our wax here instead of the people who I think at Colorado, I probably spent about 10 to 15. So
Yeah.
like it's a half a price update.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you doing your own this way, knowing the value of knowing that it's chemical free, that you're doing it, yourself, and the fact that you can extract all the best stuff. I mean, that's a great value for that.
There is one more thing that is very important to mention, and this is in respect to the CBD and the hemp. Okay. If you look at products uh, that are marketed as supplying CBD, and you look at the label, you will see that the dosages in them are milligrams. So you will see that a capsule has 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams. The entire bottle has 100 milligrams. 100 milligrams is a tenth of a gram. Okay. CBD came into our knowledge, most of it because of people that needed it for epilepsy.
Right.
Okay. And it was being taken as a medication for that, and it was extremely effective. And
Yes.
very quickly and very effectively, it reduced those people that were suffering, 25 epilepsy attacks. It reduced
Yes.
a day. It
Yes.
reduced it to one every month or something like that. Just fantastic results. But you know how much CBD they were taking? Anywhere from 3 grams to 6 grams.
Right.
So that means that 100 milligrams bottle, you will need to take 30 bottles in one sitting to do
Right.
that, or
Right.
60 bottles. See, so when you do your own extraction, you're getting almost a gram from 3.5 grams of
Right.
See, so just look at the proportion. So you will need to process about an ounce to get the same amount, not the same amount, but the amount of CBD that you need, and that will be in 30 or 60 bottles of capsules that have, those very low dosages.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this information with us, man. It's been a pleasure to be able to talk to you. Anybody, one more time, a website for them to go look at this product and see if it's something that they would like to try.
Okay, mycbdextractor.com. So it's MYCBD and then the word extractor.com.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I'll be glad to answer any other question, not only about my contraption and my process, but I've answered questions even from people that have bought industrial equipment, and they say, hey, do you know why this is not working or whatever? And I've been able to give them, to help them too.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So y'all, if y'all have any questions about that, you contact Alfonso for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anytime that you would like to come on and talk about anything you got going on, open invitation, just hit me up and we'll get you on. I do this every Monday. So.
All right. Thank you.
You have a fantastic day.
You too.
Awesome. Awesome, y'all. Man, that was awesome. Owner and creator of Tube, the ultimate butane extractor, y'all. My next guest I'm fixing to bring in, her name is Tara Stafford, y'all. She's fixing to come on and talk about an event she's got coming up in California. I'm so excited to hear all about it. I've got her joining now. Heck yeah. Hey, Tara, how you doing, love? Says her audio is connecting. There we go.
There we are. You got the sound.
Heck yeah. How are you doing, love?
Doing well, thank you. And how are you?
Doing fantastic, man. Just back to school mode right now, trying to get my daughter back to school. But other than that, been doing fantastic. So me and you were talking the other day, I know, and you were telling me about this event, and man, it seemed really cool. So I was like, yeah, come on Canna Corner and tell everybody about it. So without further ado, what is this amazing event we got going on in California?
Well, thank you. I do appreciate your time and everybody that is tuning in today. And, it's been, whether or not to even have an event, it's always been questionable with, COVID coming on and everything else. But all at the same time, you only live once. So we are hosting an event. It's a wellness retreat, more so than I want to say like an event. It's been a really long year for a lot of us, and we feel it's a good time to go ahead and call people together for a wellness retreat where we can gather together in some harmony. We have sound bowls going on. There's a meteor shower that will have a full moon sound bath going. We have some great bands coming in. The Galactivators will be joining us, and we're going to do a sunset chakra galactivation, and we'll do sunrise yoga to really just kind of come back in tune with ourselves and decompress and really just be okay with how everything has been today, and really just kind of zen up, I guess, is a good way to say it.
That sounds awesome. What more, you're right. It's been a stressful year with Corona and everything. And man, a lot of people need to just breathe and take care of themselves for a little while. And this sounds like a fantastic way to do that. So the name of the event is Soul Life Events Presents Soulestial. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, this is a celestial gathering prevented by Soul Life. And we are calling out, because it's an extraterrestrial event, ultimately will be out of this world. We have some really great speakers joining us. Casey Hardison, he's actually pretty infamous in the realms of psychedelics and wellness and quantum physics and thoughts. We have Victoria, who is also very infamous within the women of cannabis and an entrepreneur. And she's been part of Landmark actually for a number of years. And so she's going to come and join us as well. So it's really coming together, and we do want to just invite everybody. This is a family friendly event too, because so often when we try to go to events or festivals, it's really hard because you got a family to attend to, and school is starting. Absolutely, I'm in the same boat, and I'm going to take this time to bring even my family. And I haven't been able to go anywhere. I went to Texas for a moment, and that's how I got to meet you guys, and it was a blessing, and I can't wait to come back. It was a great little Canna family I got to meet. Like, yay! So thank you for your time and your time, your
So much fun, man. I had a blast, and it was so good to be able to meet everybody for the first time, man. I deal with y'all all the time on the internet, but to put a face to that name, man, it helps.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a good time to kind of bring that too. You know, we are calling out to multiple states for us to get together because we have a Canna family worldwide. And it is, like you say, always really great to get to meet each other and then to get to meet under really calming, more of a calm environment versus the hustle bustle and music and, you know, spending money. Like, don't worry about that. Bring your family, bring a tent. If you don't got one, we'll share one, you know, like we'll have a gathering of food and a place for everybody to be. And we will absolutely accommodate ADA. So if there's any disabilities, any handicaps, like we will absolutely help cater to a glamping space so that you can. And if there's children with seizures or any special accommodations, we'll absolutely be on hand for everybody to be taken care of and feel like they're in that space to actually get to enjoy this event completely.
Man, it sounds like a blast. I'm jealous. I live in Texas right now, and this is October 8th through the 10th, right?
Yes.
Big Bear, California. And yes. I know you were talking to me. Are you full yet on vendors?
We are. We actually have vendor space available. If you are interested even in musicians, if there's any musicians, there's still a call to action here. So everybody's welcome if you don't want to just plan a weekend, or maybe you want to vend and make some money. This is a private event, so everybody's welcome to host even if you don't have a vending license.
Awesome. So that's great. We if I don't know if you've been following us, but I was with COCW for about 3 years when I started, and our one thing was we're not paying for a permit. Like we'd find ways around it, and we did. We were like, so that's a great thing that you don't have to have permits out there. I know you said you're looking for musicians, DJs, and speakers too, right?
Yes, of all sorts. So no matter what niche you might be in, if it's into wellness, sustainability, health, happiness, peace, love, and joy, you know, any of the goodness. If you have something that you want to speak about, maybe you've never had that opportunity and you would like that opportunity. Everybody has a place. Even if you think you're just a mom at home, I'm sure there's more to you being a mom at home, because real talk is real talk. And anybody and everybody, if you have something to share, we definitely want to hear it, and we want to empower you to take that stage, take the mic, put the spins on, whatever your greatness might be. You know, we want to empower everybody to have their part and take place.
Definitely. So I guess speaking of that, what is your cannabis story? Why did you get involved in trying to legalize and trying to spread and educate the word about cannabis?
So I'm actually really kind of somewhat, I've never really been into the legalized, because I've seen the legalized coming from California, where 215 took place with Dennis Perone and Wayne Justman, who's patient number 1. And ultimately, I'm an activist. I am, you know, where all use is medical use, so we are all patients. But ultimately, what I have found when I kind of started learning more about patients, because ultimately I started meeting patients is really what highlighted it. Like, yes, I've been a cannabis user, but I consider myself more as an example of what recreation looks like, because I am healthy, I am well balanced, I don't have any of these disabilities, and it's blessed. But with that, I have met children who have seizures, and I have families and friends who have cancers, and we can see that there's a voice that needs to be spoken for those who can't speak. So there's those of us that need to show up for those who can't show up. I don't expect a lot of patients to show up at riots or going to DC or any of these places where we might expect to see patients. I mean, we can use Idaho as a great example. I also grew up in Idaho, so I have a strong love for Idaho, and I have a great passion for hoping and pushing for them to get their rights, as patients are being refused their rights still today, even though I'm in California where it's free, like it's a very interesting, unique. So I started meeting patients, and then I started, my husband is Justin Purcell, and he's a biochemist. A lot of people might know him from the Little Bottle of Love. I was not with him when I started this process, and now we are together. So I found my love at the same time, which was a blessing. But I started noticing his work and his helping children, and so it really tuned me in even more so. And then I started meeting the children, and that really goes far. You really start seeing the difference in recreational and medical, and what it means to be a patient, and what it really means to be an activist, And so it's really just been my place to be an activist on behalf of patients' rights and speaking up for their voice, and parents and children, and ultimately an activist for life. There's a paper plane project, and that's for domestic violence and women who are escaping or needing to get away. We have safe havens everywhere. So that's a big thing that we've also, kind of underground sisterhood. So just putting it out there, there's always a friend, and I don't know you, and maybe you're watching in between, and hey, we're right here. And that's what it takes, is that some different little bits of change. So, we have a medicine line. My husband's a biochemist, and so we do produce full extract cannabis for patients. And I want to emphasize, there's like patients before profits situation here. So I'll put that out if there's any patients walking today that need medicine.
Definitely commend you, because that's one thing that I've always had. These are patients, and if they can't afford medication, they shouldn't die of cancer because of that. And there's a lot of help you can get for medicine that you have to take, like insulin and stuff. But when it comes to this, because it's not federally legal yet, the insurance can't help you. So, man, I thank you so much for what you're doing and helping people around you.
It's our honor. And, we do it for everyone, and no matter where you are. We are very into fighting for rights for people who are in red states. And I emphasize this because I'm sorry, but I just can't sit by and say, okay, well, when your laws change, we'll take care of you. Like, no, we'll fight for that change in your state. We'll fight for your medicine rights, and, do what we can from where we are. I'll show up, though. Don't think I won't.
Well, man, it was so nice being able to talk to you today. I'm not quite done yet. I wanted, number one, you said the domestic violence. How can a woman that's going through that, it's very near and dear to my heart. I watched my mom grow up in a domestic violence situation, which led to me being in a domestic violence situation. So any women that are out there and needing help in your area, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, if you don't just naturally find me on Facebook, I openly give out my phone number. If you need a friend to contact me, you can contact me. I mean, really, my number is public. It's on my Facebook. You can find me at Tribal Roots Studio as well. But Tara Boom DA on Facebook if you are looking, or Instagram. It's really, I'm very universal. It's there. But yes, if you are watching, 530-354-1573. You know, and
Sorry,
you can pass that
I
number.
interrupted you.
Huh?
One more time, I interrupted that. I want to make sure they get that.
530-354-1573. And I answer in the middle of the night.
Awesome, awesome. And then if y'all want to get a hold of me, I will give you her Facebook profile as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and if people want to go to this event, the Soul Life events, man, it sounds so much fun. How do they get tickets? How much are the tickets, and where do they go?
So on Event High, and I can send you links on Facebook as well, so everyone can keep it simple and tune in with a click. And you just caught me off guard because the ticket prices are listed. There's a couple of different prices, so you can choose. Excuse me on that one.
Oh, no, you're good. I should have wrote it down. I didn't even look. I was like, shit, I forgot about prices.
So thanks everybody. But you can also, if you're interested in vending or anything, just reach out and we have a media kit that we can get to you as well. But
Awesome.
everyone can tune into your channel and your websites and all of your links, and we'll make sure that you have everything directly linked as well.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tara, and thank you for coming on at last minute to tell everybody. I would definitely like to get you on your own Canna Corner show one day again when you got time.
That would be
kind of a real pop on, tell people about event today. So
thank you so much, and I hope to see everybody there. Tune in. And
yeah.
you know, another quick one, we will have workshops and we're going to be streaming live. So if you can't actually be there, we will be having some virtual events that you can tune into and still actually be part of the event.
Oh, wow. Count me in, and I'll share too as well when that stuff happens. So awesome.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, everybody.
You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, one love.
Awesome. Awesome. Man, great people, y'all. Tara is an amazing girl. She hit me up. We met. She's just a great person. What you see is what you get. I think that I may have messed up over on Relevant. No, I'm still live. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So I did have a few other things to talk about. If y'all saw the show last week with Garrett Mullins, we talked about Canna Basum, which is the name in the Bible that they use for cannabis. And Paul Turner gave me this shirt and told me to sport it and to tell people about it. And if anybody was interested in getting one, that they could hit him up. The shirt will be $40 for cost of getting everything together. So if y'all are interested in this shirt, just either message me or you get a hold of me. Probably it would be the best way, and I'll message Paul and tell y'all how to get a hold of that. Also, I know I got something else I need to talk about. Oh, yes. Okay. So, y'all, over on the Relevant app, I know y'all been hearing me talk about it. I know I'm live over there right now. But y'all on Facebook, this new app, and well, not really new, but newer app, just started, man. And they, Wendy Love Edge is over there with Weedopedia. And basically it's a whole Weedopedia of different cannabis groups and stuff over there. I know that if y'all are outspoken cannabis activists like myself, you notice that Facebook has blacked us out or blocked our posts or kept people from seeing them or ground us for a post, whatever, you know. We're tired of being told that we can't talk about this. This is something important that we need to educate public on. And so Relevant wants us over there. They're not going to block you. They're not going to, none of that. It's a very easy app. You go to Play Store or Apple Store, I guess, for iPhones or Metro phones or Android phones, sorry. You go to that app, the Play Stores, and you download Relevant. That's RELEVNT, Relevant. And what you do is you go over there and you download the app. You upload it to your phone. And then it's going to ask you to set up a little profile. It takes about 5 minutes. After you do that, on the top of the screen, there's going to be these little rectangles. And then you're going to see other lists down here. Well, on those rectangles, you slide it and you go to Weedipedia. You click on Weedipedia, and then you're going to have all your cannabis groups right there. Go ahead and like every one of those because they're all fantastic, great people, great groups, great chats. There's something for everything, man. I believe I made an RV and cannabis group over there. Wendy Love Edge, KM420 Radio is there. Matter of fact, they are doing a giveaway, which is what I'm fixing to get into over there on KM420 of a bong, and they're fixing to be doing that drawing soon. So if you want to get involved in that, all you got to do is go over there and like KM420 Radio. And then while you're doing that, I was asked to be the admin of Ask Mary. I don't know if anybody is on there has heard. I won the Educator of the Year 2021 Cannabis Awards. Mike Wise put on that. So they had asked, since I won the Educator of the Year, if I would come on and kind of help out with that chat. And so it's new to me. I'm learning. I'm meeting people over there. So you're going to catch a way more personal side of me over there, kind of like my regular Facebook page. Right now, we're just getting to meet everybody, telling everybody's stories. And what it is for is questions. If y'all have any questions about cannabis, you just go in there and you type in your question, and I will answer the best I can. If I do not know the answer, I will tell you, and I will go look it up and find the answer. So I am really looking forward to being able to talk and mingle with everybody over there. So go to Ask Mary and join that group as well. We are doing a giveaway. I'm so happy to announce 18 different products donated from Willow Creek Springs. Man, they rock. They donated all of these different products, CBD stuff. I put a picture over in the Relevant app to see the whole list. I will be making a flyer for Facebook and Instagram tonight after I'm done with Canna Corner, and get it out there so that y'all can see all the products. But man, CBD products, great products. 18 different ones. You get a chance to win if you go join Ask Mary, download the app, join Ask Mary, and then share it with your friends, invite other friends there, and that will get you a chance to win the whole basket of 18 products. Way over $100 value, y'all. So big shout out to Willow Creek Springs that has donated the product for this giveaway. So yes, if you want to be a part of that giveaway, Ask Mary while you're over there. KM420 Radio. Give Canna Corner a like too. And I go live from there every time. So if it's a day I can't do a live on Monday, the only place that you're going to hear the live of the pre-recorded thing will be on Relevant, and that's saved for them. So big shout out to Relevant. I'm so happy to be a big part of their team, and KM420 being a big part of their team, and just really excited. Also, August 9th, which is next week, we will be talking to Michael Weinstein, Dreadhead Chef, y'all. Man, I was at Lucky Leaf Expo, and he made some salted caramels, CBD salted caramels. They were so good. One of the best caramels I've ever eaten. Really, really good. So he's going to be coming on next week's Canna Corner at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can catch it live on Candace Dyer Facebook page or on Relevant, or you can listen to the replay. If on Wednesdays, WJAE 420 radio replays Canna Corner at 2 o'clock. And then we've got on Sundays, KM 420 radio replays Canna Corner at 2 o'clock. So you can check out the replays in both those places for Canna Corner, or you can also go to my YouTube channel, which every video that I do is uploaded to there. So if you miss it on Mondays, you can always join us at any of those times. Also, August 30th, I've got Troy of Roach and Bud, y'all, coming on. Man, I've known him now for a while. We meet at all kinds of normal events. He does this awesome cartoon, and he's got a movie coming out. So he wants to tell y'all all about it. So definitely don't want to miss that. There's a couple Mondays, the 16th and the 23rd of August, that I've got openings for. So if you would like to be on Canna Corner, you like what we do, you'd like to tell your story, maybe you're a cannabis patient, maybe you have a daughter that needs cannabis for seizures, maybe you're an activist and you want to tell people about your event, maybe you're an eventer and you want to come on like today and tell us about your products. Whatever it is, if it's cannabis related, come join, tell us about it. Awesome, y'all. So big shout out to Alfonso for being on today. Y'all go check out the Ultimate Butane Extractor. I love each and every one of you, and thank you for joining me today. Love y'all. Peace.